Secretary Fiandaka, Chair Glenn, General Manager Ang, and members of board and staff. Thank you for the opportunity to provide public comment. My name is Jared Johnson. I'm the Executive Director of Transit Matters and a proud T-Rider. I want to acknowledge how much I appreciate how much the tenor of these meetings has changed. I really want to thank the new and returning board members for their work, and want to acknowledge the positive changes that the Healy administration has already started to make. This is my first comment period with General Manager Ang. Welcome addition. Thank you. I also want to say that I appreciate the countless hours of hard work that went into the CIP, but this agency is at a crossroads. It can't continue to put out the same type of old plan that, despite a ton of hard work, is essentially meaningless because it omits so much and is indecipherable to anyone outside of the agency. I was shocked to read in the Globe a few months ago that the CIP contains only about 10 to 15% of the safety and reliability related requests that the team gave it. I know that it will take time to get a full accounting of the system's needs and to develop a timeline for digging out of the mess that the Baker administration left behind. But I can do simple math, and a 5-year plan that tackles about 10% of what is probably a dramatic undercount of safety and reliability needs does not inspire hope. And this is before we get to needed modernization efforts. While others might dismiss commuter rail electrification and red to blue as frivolous expansion projects, they're critical to the resilience and the reliability of this system. An opportunity like the MBTA Communities Act and the potential to alleviate some of the nation's worst traffic, combined with the condition of the MBTA's locomotive fleet, should indeed elevate and accelerate a now 4-year-old commitment to regional rail. But that's not what the CIP reflects. And to this point, I actually found the language in the last CIP update insulting. 400 people did not write in to tell the T good job on their regional rail efforts. If this plan is a 5-year outlook, we will be woefully behind and not reach the governor's own 2040 goal. Parking failing locomotives in a $2 to $3 billion station that could be made significantly cheaper or even eliminated by more modern technology and a world standard operating model is not a plan. It is a deeply unserious distraction from the real work that this agency needs to do. We need to do something different with this CIP. Transit is in trouble across the country, but what has never worked is scaling back ambition, looking inward, and failing to tap the 2 greatest resources an agency has: its workers and its riders. I'll stick to talking about the riders, but I would imagine many of the MBTA staff and labor partners feel the same way. It's time for this agency to fight. It's time for this agency to demonstrate what I know because I have friends that work here and because I talk with incredibly smart and dedicated civil servants that I call colleagues. But the everyday rider doesn't see that. As my colleague will soon mention, they see poorly executed diversions and outdated infrastructure. And what they don't see is a vision for the future or a glimmer of hope for when they will have regular service. And I know that much of this is the fault and responsibility of my friends in the general court, but a closed mouth will not get fed. I end this by saying that you have an unprecedented amount of support to shake things up and do things differently from the advocacy community and from riders. But the MBTA will have to take the first step. Right now, riders, the economy, and our environment are the victims of the world's most pointless game of chicken. It's time for the MBTA to ask for what it needs and advocate more forcefully on behalf of riders